I would say the main goal is, of course, to pick up all the trash out of Banita Creek. But a big goal that we have is just to get the community involved, which the number of people that we've already had out here this morning, I think we definitely succeeded in that goal, which is great. We also had a couple small kids, which I think is the best thing. I love seeing kids out here. That's one of our big goals at KMB, is to educate people, especially of the young age, just because they are our future.
And so how many people are participating today?
I would say, I don't have an exact number, probably about 40, 45-ish people.
Okay, thank you. And how do you anticipate the cleanup to benefit the local community?
So water is our source of life. So keeping it clean is always a priority. If we don't have clean waterways, we don't eventually have clean drinking water. We don't have the ability for people to enjoy our waterways. So it's just an overall benefit for the community, everybody that is around Banita Creek. And if you don't know, all of our creeks eventually lead out into the ocean. So yeah, everything is connected. So in one way or another, we are benefiting all of the water that's here locally in Texas and essentially all over the world.
Okay. And then do you mind just explaining the different locations that the volunteers are at currently?
So we're starting here at Banita Park North, and we're working our way upstream, going all the way to the University Club Apartments. That also includes not only the waterway itself, but the area around the waterway. So, because it's just as important to pick up the trash outside of the water as it is inside the water. So, yeah.
Okay. And can you share any past successes and if you've done this before with volunteers or just
Yeah.
in general, how that
Yeah.
works?
Yeah, so we do try to host a waterway cleanup yearly, just because, as Kimberly stated, March is Keep Texas Waterways Clean. I would say this is probably our biggest turnout, which is excellent. Last year, we actually coincided with SFA's big event, and we didn't have as big of a turnout, but it was still good. But this is by far probably the best waterway cleanup that we've had as far as number of volunteers that we have participating.
And what kind of, whether it's trash or anything that they may pick up, any common ones that you may see or expect to get?
Yeah, so definitely common would be takeout containers. That includes like cups, the to-go boxes itself, whether it be like McDonald's bags, canes, their little styrofoam things. That's probably definitely the most common. Also water bottles, Coke bottles, things like that. The plastic bottles, that's also pretty regular. We do have, every once in a while we'll get things like tires and mattresses. I don't know how people get those in the creek. We've also even had a vacuum. One time we pulled a vacuum out of this creek before, so that was fun. But yeah, definitely the to-go containers. That's why we at KMB feel like it's very important to educate people, not only on picking up the litter, but also trying to prevent it. So bringing your own water bottle. Most people don't think about this, but when you go to a restaurant, you can bring your own to-go container. You don't have to ask for the styrofoam container, because I would like to say that people don't purposely throw things in the creek. Sometimes that might be the case, but a lot of it is that those styrofoam containers and plastic water bottles, the wind picks them up. So if we just don't have them all together, we ultimately won't have the trash.
Right. And so, I'm sorry. So, how would this also contribute to, wildlife habitats and things that are out here?
Yeah, so wildlife is a big part. You may not think about wildlife being in like a small creek like this, but there are fish populations in this creek specifically. There are also mammals. There are squirrels and birds. Those animals think that they're food and they pick it up. It's kind of beneficial in a bad way. Birds will use them as their nest. But yeah, fish will, especially like plastic, because the fish, it just looks like something clear in the water, and so they just ingest it incidentally. So yeah, it's a huge impact on the wildlife, even if it is just such a small creek.
Okay. And how can people get more involved? Are there any other future upcoming events like these that people can take part in?
Yeah, so we have events roughly about once a month. You can always go to our website, which is keepnacbeautiful.org, and if you do /events, that actually brings you to our calendar of events that we have scheduled for the year. Like I said, we try to do events, not necessarily waterway cleanups, but we have various events that we do roughly about once a month.